Good morning, YouTube. This is our daily Forex trading session, and just want to welcome you to the stream. I hope you enjoy the content. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am journaling my trades via video so I can come back and see how well I did and how I didn't do well. Hopefully make changes and then become a more profitable trader. You can follow along, but I am not a professional trader. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not asking you to do that. And also know that trading involves risks, so never trade more than you can afford to lose. Yesterday, when we left, we had a lot of orders on the books that were upside down. They were in the negative, but they were still open and going. I think I ended the video by saying that we were probably going to cut our losses for the day so we can come back and fight again another time. And I just want to show you what happened to those trades after we left. So my threshold for how much loss I want to take in a session is about 1%, because I can come back and make that up, right? If I get 3, 4, 5%, it'll be a long time before I'm able to make that up. You know, you do have bad days, especially when you're learning like I am. So, but this blue arrow in here is kind of about where, you know, we were looking at getting out, right? We had been in for a while. It was kind of going against us. You know, this is the 5-minute chart, right? So, and we were trying to build into a sell, and we just couldn't get the momentum we needed. So I just went back and looked and said, okay, well, it looks like this range right here is the next support that we're going to have. Right, so I put my stop loss right about that line. Right, so I'm gonna put a stop loss right there under that, you know, right after that support. So then I left the computer. I had a stop loss right there. I had to take profit, you know, somewhere down here, and I was done. Well, to my surprise, I guess there was, well, it was not a surprise that there was a news event. I knew there was a news event coming yesterday, but we stopped trading before the news event really took effect. So I get up and walk away from the computer, and I check the account online just to see, you know, if we're still in the trades, if we get stopped out. I totally thought this was going to keep going up, right? After this pullback, I just stop us out. That's kind of what I was mentally prepared for. And I look on the account, and this is what I see. All of our trades actually went into the profit. Now, the two things I want to talk about is that, one, it's important to know where your risk threshold is and set stop losses. Because if this had gone against me, right, and ran up, it could have gone as far as it wanted. This could have gone, this went down for the news event. 40 pips. This could have gone up 40 pips, right? And I would have been on all these trades for another 40 pips. And if I'm not at my computer, right, to manage those trades, it could have just kept going, right? Not only did it go 40 pips, but it just kept going all day. So, set a stop loss, set it at the appropriate place where you're comfortable with that amount of risk, that you're comfortable taking that amount of loss, and set a reasonable take profit, right? 1936. I think I can go in here. That's not what I want. So you can see here that I was taking these trades up here, and I set my take profit right here, right? Because, you know, this is a new support and resistance level. So I knew that my best probability is that it would at least get back to here. Now it went ahead and went down, right? You know, if I had to take profit down here, all these trades would have weighed a lot more money. But it wasn't probable without the news, right? At best case, I could hope for another pullback and get me out of these trades, you know, making a little bit of profit on them along the way. So that's kind of where, you know, I want you to think about making sure that you have the appropriate stop loss for the risk that you can handle, and having take profits that are reasonable, right, for the situation. Since we were scalping, I didn't want to set a long-term trade up, you know, but you can look at this and say, well, you know, if I didn't have the take profits on, I just take the stop loss off and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I'd be way down here today, which is crazy to think about, right? Just this one trade that I opened up here, you know, that's 100 pips, and I was in 30 trades, so that would have been 3,000 pips. That's crazy for an account, for my account. So, but there was no way to know that, and that would not have been realistic take profit, right? For what I was doing, for the scalping I was doing. I had no indicators or justification to do that. Now, if you're doing long-term setups, right, where you're identifying some technicals and signals that would tell you that, you know, the price is going to run down, right? We were in an overall uptrend yesterday. Let me look. All right, so we are in a downtrend. I was thinking about a different pair. You know, but we were in a downtrend, and it had come down, you know, pretty far. And we're looking at getting into these support and resistance levels, which it is right now. So we could see this market move a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there was no way to know that, you know, we were going to come all the way down here. You know, best case or worst case, you know, you could set your stop loss, and have some trades, you know, take one or two of the 30 and either take profit off, right? Or you could, you know, set some longer take profits. But for me, I like being out of the market. I like know that it's done, that I don't have to keep coming back and checking it, you know, and being distracted by the trades. So, all right, we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into today. We'll try to do our setup here with the 89 HMA. While we're looking at these, I will talk that I took a long-term setup last night. And it is not going in my favor right now. It's kind of bounced around. It's gone into the positive, come back to the negative, gone to the positive, came back to the negative. So I took it on a lower time frame, so you can see it was a buy stop, and I put it in, down here where it pulled back. It came up, put me in the trade, came back down. So hopefully we'll revert and go to the upside. On our long-term setup, this would be a long signal, but I would need a green bar, which we had last hour. So we can't take anything else on that right now. This could be a good little setup if it actually pulls back and gets over the 50 level here. Not a lot setting up for us today. Alright, well, we got a buy here. We'll go ahead and take that. See if we can get a few pips out of this uptrend here. Oops, excuse me. Alright, sorry, I had to adjust my microphone. Alright, so just working through these. go ahead and put this on and see what comes of it here. We are below the HMA, but we have, 2 green candles in a row, so maybe we can trick it into giving us 5 pips here. The New Zealand pair doesn't really move as much as some of the others as far as how much pips they get out of one hour of charting. So, and we only have 30 more minutes of a trade session, so we will see. All right, well, we didn't get much going on there. We have a pretty good uptrend here, and it's been testing these highs. But this is also a little bit of a, well, we had a failed head and shoulders, right? Here's the shoulder, had a head, a shoulder, but instead of running down like it typically does, it reversed and went back up. The other thing we have here is a little bit of a ascending channel. So want to look out for that, not only because this is a range of consolidation, right, that it's stuck in. So it could come up and then bounce back down and then bounce back up. But the other thing is that these, if you get one of these upward, then the price could break down, right? And when you get these pointing downwards, the price can break up. Now, there's no hard rules, right? So it could do either one, but it's just good to mentally note that. Now we do have, 12, 13 pips before it comes back up and tests this high again. But it looks like it has some pretty good momentum. If we wanted to, we could trade the upside of this on the 1 minute. Let's just look at some of these lower time frames. Right, we got trend alignment on the 15, right, where it's kind of been bouncing off of that HMA. Right here we had a pennant, and it broke to the downside, so it's kind of got a mind of its own right now. Since we didn't get a lot of setup on the shotgun, I think I'm going to just try to scalp the Euro USD. We do have news in about an hour, so I want to try to get in a little bit and get out. See what we can do in the meantime. I really like trading the Euro USD, but things have been so choppy lately. It's been really hard to find a good opportunity because I prefer the 1 hour to kind of tell me what the trend is, so I can at least be biased towards that. And if you look at this 1 hour, some of these days you were just all over the place, right? Even when it came down, it was down, up, down, up, down, up, in these really big swings. So it was hard to know if it was going to stay in a trend or if it was just going to bounce around all over the place. We still have some of that, but I'm only going to be in an hour, so hopefully we can take advantage of this upward momentum just for this very short time frame. Go ahead and put some support and resistance lines on here. We'll be looking for it to kind of bounce off of these lows and break through these highs. Luckily, a lot of these support levels are all above our stop losses, right? Our stop losses are down here in these major support levels down here at the bottom. If it breaks through and comes down here, you're looking at 40 pips. So that'd be a little rough for us for what we're doing, but if we're patient and manage the trades well, we might be able to endure a little bit of a pullback and then even set up, to put on some trades that run like what we did yesterday. But we can pick a couple of those and see if we can let them run, since yesterday we kind of took profit on everything. So Looks like we hit our profit on the NZD USD, so that's good. Book a little bit of pips. Try to get back right side up on this Aussie US dollar. Alright, a little bit of momentum here. This is nice. As it pulls back, we'll put some more buys on. Hopefully it'll run up and take us out. Look at that. A lot of momentum in the market. I don't know what's going on. It's not necessarily a news event, but there's definitely something going on that's causing all this volatility. But it's not really affecting the spread. And we're getting to these, this long wick here where it's pulling back and running back up. So just going to take advantage of the pullback, set some trades up, and then see if it pushes back up through there. Now it is very typical to see, if you have an abnormal candle like this where it just runs up, to see that get some retracement, right, where it pulls back down. But that doesn't mean that it won't continue to follow the overall trend, right? But that's just kind of the market going, wait a minute, I know that's the direction we want to go, but I don't want you to get too far ahead of yourself. See, like this one was an abnormal candle. It kind of engulfed this whole row, and then it got some retracement, but then eventually went to the direction of the market. And here we go, going back up. So this will be the trade that we kind of let run You should have taken one of these from the bottom down here, but the price ran up so fast that it was good to book that initial little bit of profit to be in these trades. So as it pulls back, I'll just put a couple more trades on. Spread's kind of fluctuating. One and a half pips isn't so bad on most pairs, but the Euro USD normally has some really good spreads. 0.5 or below. So there's definitely some volatility in the market. Something going on that that is affecting the price. It looks like Europe's having a news event. I checked the U.S. news, but it looks like Europe is announcing some interest rates. So we'll see how that affects our session for a couple of minutes. And again, as long as our spreads stay reasonable, I'll kind of trade these bounces up and down. Looks like on that news event, I'll bring this over here so you can see it. This is what they forecasted in the previous, and it looks like it didn't actually change. So I don't know why the market is reacting so crazy to the news if it was, what they expected it to be. That's kind of why I'm trading with a little bit of confidence, because if the news didn't really change from what was expected, then this should continue in its previous direction. This is setting up to be a pretty nice trade day. We've actually gotten quite a bit of trading in a short amount of time, which is awesome when you get in that situation. You know, that some of the days that we've gotten on, things have kind of moved slow, which has kind of put us in a bind just because it takes so long to work your way out. But with this movement, you know, I put on more trades at the different levels than I normally would, just because that was the situation the market was presenting to us, was, you know, the opportunity. This has really helped our Aussie USD too. Actually start to get back in the break-even range with that. So again, I'm still going to trade these pullbacks. Try to get, 2 or 3 pips out of them. Now it's going to try to, push through these highs, but we've already broken this one, and this will be the next point of resistance here. If it breaks through up here, it could run up pretty far. This will be the trade we leave on, kind of see if we can let it run for the day, see what happens. It's in a pretty good position down here, below all this support. So if this does break up and kind of run a little bit, we'll be okay. And, we've made a fairly good amount of profit, so we'll move the stop loss up, somewhere reasonable, 15, 20 pips. And if it comes back, it comes back. We'll be all right. Oh, we were doing so good. What happened? I'm liking these wicks on the bottom here. Alright, well, we're about to have to start wrapping up this session, but I'm hoping we can get some pullback here and take us out of these trades. I'm going to try to put everything, right here above the break-even point. See if we can get it to come back at least to right there. But this is pretty good, volatility in the market. A lot of price movement. It's good for us. These are two. Excuse me. These are 2 pips each, so this candle went 6 pips, 6 pips. So that's pretty good movement for a market, going up and down. It doesn't look good when it's not going in your direction, but you need that movement if you're gonna hope to make money, or even hope for the price to come back, right? If you get down 10, 20 pips, then you're relying on the market to come back, and the candles are only moving 1 pip a candle. Now you're looking at 30 minutes for you can get back to your price. So Well, if it can decide what it wants to do in the next 10 minutes or so, that would be great. What used to be our support level is now kind of become a resistance level, so hopefully if we can close above this blue line, that'll give it some momentum to keep going to the upside. Just does not want to break through there. Put a couple more trades on in this lower range here. Oops. Oh, goodness. We just need one more good push here to end the morning, and that would be a fantastic day. A great note for us to end the stream on. While we're waiting, I just want to tell everybody that I appreciate you watching this, and if you could click the like button so that the video gets out to more and more people that are interested in this kind of thing. Click subscribe if you want to come watch the live sessions, or get notified when a video goes up. Also click the bell icon. I hope to be getting into some more financial videos as far as ways to handle debt, investment opportunities, what to do with your money that you make in trading, and those types of things. So stay tuned for more, videos in the finance world. And again, I just want to thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this, and that it was beneficial to you. We'll give it a couple more minutes here to try to move in our direction. If not, then I'll have to put on a stop loss and come back and check it again later. We just needed to break above this blue line and close, so it can carry that momentum forward. But as long as it's bouncing off of that line, that's kind of where we're stuck. Got about 6 seconds for this one to actually close up. Alright, well, we'll wait for the next candle now. These wicks scare me a little bit, right? Because we're still getting a lot of downward momentum. Once we get up here to break even and cross that pink line, I'm going to try to take off some of these worse trades so that we only have the winners on. It's just not wanting to give it to us. And we started out so good. Now the market is being a little stingy, so. We are forming a nice green candle over here on the 15-minute, but even over here, we can't quite break up. And we got a new candle in about 2.5 minutes, so stochastics below 50, and we have a blue HMA on the 15. We still have a blue HMA and below 50 on the 1 hour, so we still have some upward potential. it is fun to watch because every candle could be the candle, right? Just like back here, this candle was the candle, and that's awesome. So every candle has the potential to be the candle. And then they win a prize. I send them a $50 Visa gift card for being the candle, because I really appreciate that. Take an opportunity to get out of some of these trades up there. And I'm glad that I waited. You know, we were buying on the way down. Then we kind of waited 6 or 8 pips before we started getting heavier in the position. If I would have traded this all the way down, you know, we would have been in a lot worse shape and not been able to wait the market out the way we did. So, you know, if we can get back up into this range where this other trade is, you know, we'll probably start pulling all these off now that we're up quite a bit. So. Alright guys, well I really do need to get going. I'm going to let this run and see if we can take profits. And I appreciate you watching. I'll let you know the outcome tomorrow, so check back. Leave a comment if you want to say anything about the stream or things that I can do better. I'd love to hear your comments. I want to thank you very much guys, and I hope you have a great day.